What is up? Welcome back to Weekend Ready with Luke and Meg. We're here to get you ready for the weekend.
Yes, we are.
I'm going on tour, happy hour all across Australia. Some of the shows are selling really well. It's crazy. So go get tickets. There's a bunch. The first ones are Werribee. I should have got this up. Werribee is the first show of the tour. There's not many tickets left. Griffith, I know, is one of the first ones. Okay, so Albury, Griffith, Nowra, Goulburn, Orange, Bathurst, Port Mac. One of the shows is already sold out. The second and final show is on sale. Grafton, Coffs Harbour, Tamworth, Central Coast. That's going really quick. Dubbo, Penrith. Again, one of the shows is like 3 tickets left, and then the other ones, the last show's on sale.
Yeah.
Newcastle, Wollongong, Sydney. That's going very quick. Wagga and Lismore is the first leg.
Awesome.
Oh, and there's a Canberra in there as well.
Yep, Chuck.
So,
add a little bit of
plus,
Canberra.
I'm also going to Queensland, South Australia, Tasmania, Victoria, WA, and Northern Territory.
Woohoo!
So,
well, you could have just said the rest of Australia.
Yeah.
The entirety of Australia.
That, then people go, but you don't come to Darwin. And it's because they don't check.
True. Yeah, you actually are correct. Alrighty.
LukeKidgell.com.
LukeKidgell.com. Action! Oh, just killed everyone's ears.
Action. Luke and Meg.
Woohoo!
Welcome to our podcast.
Yeah.
Lights, camera, action. Meg.
And Luke.
Welcome to our podcast. Is that the Wiggles?
I don't think so.
Lights, camera, action, Wiggles. Yeah, it is.
Oh, it
Welcome
is?
to our TV show.
Oh, that's OG Wiggles.
Is it?
Yeah. That's OG Wiggles.
Yeah, see, I think about yes, that is probably OG Wiggles, but it's not OG Wiggles. It's probably like modern-ish.
No, that was like the oldest Wiggles. Like the original Wiggles.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah.
It's like I still think things that came out in 2015 are like recent.
Babes, if you came out singing a song that like Emma Wiggle was singing, I would be concerned. I would be very concerned if you started just singing.
No, I don't know any of the new tracks.
The new tracks. Well, no, they're now technically OG tracks as well because I've got the new Wiggles on board. Anyway,
yeah.
We've had discussions of the Wiggles in the past.
Wiggly party, everybody. Because I know, because Keelan used to sing it all the time.
Oh, yeah.
My full-grown adult friend used to sing that all the time at work.
He used to be like, hey.
And played in the car.
There were two things that he would do at work. He'd go, hey Siri, play Wiggly Party. And then the other one was, hey Siri, do me a fart. It would play through 20 minutes of just like wet fart playing now. And it would be like,
it was pretty funny.
Did you like that? And he'd be like, no, play me another. And then I'd be like, how about this one? And he'd just do that.
I think it's so funny that we have like technology like that is crazy now, where you can just demand things from a machine like to hear sounds and it does it for you. And it's so funny to me to just abuse that technology with farts. Like, hey Siri, play me a fart that was wetter than the last fart. And Siri's like, it thinks about it, it's like, all right, we'll find a wetter one.
I can do that. Okay.
Searching YouTube for wet fart. And you're like, awesome.
Thank you. This is what you were made for. Know your place.
You could probably ask her like, hey Siri, start working on the cure for cancer. I don't know if that's how it works.
Yeah, I don't think that's how it works, Luke. I feel like we would have cured cancer by now.
Imagine if that's how it worked and no one's just ever bothered to ask because we're all just asking for farts. We could have
I don't know.
cured all these diseases and stuff and we're all just like, wiggly body. I don't know if we're all just like that.
Do you think that it would combine it? Like, hey Siri, play Wiggly Party and fart sounds at the same time. Do you think it would do that?
Probably not. It would like say something where then I end up abusing it. Like you'll be like, sorry, we cannot. And I go, oh, shut the and then,
shut the fuck up. Shut up.
Thanks very much for tuning in to another episode of Luke and Meg. We are back home on Australian soil.
Yes, we are. We are back home.
Home turf. G'day, mate.
We went to get KFC just before because we just needed a redeemable anything from London. and the last thing that we had to eat in London was their shitty KFC.
We had it twice. We had it right at the start of our trip in Scotland. Then we tried it again in London because maybe we just got a Delta bad batch. I think the London one was worse.
It was so much worse.
And the first one was I didn't finish. I didn't finish either of them. It was the worst fast food I've ever had.
Yeah, it was
UK
terrible.
KFC. So we got KFC here to redeem it. And I tell you what, it hit the spot. But KFC is one of those things where it's so good going down. And it's good for about 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And then the next 45 minutes to 3 hours that follow, you go through a journey of regret, satisfaction. You feel every emotion in a very short span of time.
It's not the stages of grief, but it is the stages of KFC.
Yeah. I farted just before the episode and it smelled like British KFC.
So bad.
That's how bad British KFC is, that when you eat KFC, your body processes it and then you fart it out the other way and then turns into England KFC.
Maybe that's how they create the food. Yeah. Honestly, they literally just shit out. They shit out chicken.
It seriously smelled like their one after I'd eaten it, put it through my guts.
Dude, it was so bad. I had to put on more perfume on myself just to try and at least get a bubble of just fragrance.
Maybe that's one of the secret herbs and spices. It's Australian KFC plus asshole.
This sucks. This is shit.
I'm not going to lie, guys.
What is happening?
I've had 3.5 hours sleep last night and I don't remember going to bed or waking up really.
Before we keep going and digging ourselves out, we have to spin the wheel. Last week was a turn up. I
don't remember. It was a turn up.
Turn up.
Yeah, it was.
Last week was.
I wanted to be a turn up because it was the last weekend of my tour, and we had a great weekend.
Oh yeah, we went to a gay bar.
Oh, that was awesome.
In London, it was so good. Luke got pashed on the neck. That was awesome.
Definitely, you definitely described sexual assault as awesome.
Yeah, look, I'm gonna take that one. Wiggly party, everybody's wearing, and he's happy again. All right.
No, it was fine. It was partly weird, and partly I was it was cool to have some kind of feeling of how girls feel all the time. I was oh, that was fucking gross.
You were one of us for a night.
But I'll explain it in a sec. It was partly my fault.
Okay. We'll explain it after we spin. We'll spin and then, ready?
All right, I'm hoping for a wind down, by the way, because I got nothing in me. I don't know if you can tell.
Yeah, I'm broken.
Running on fumes.
In saying that, though, I am going to see shit-faced Shakespeare tonight with my sister. I'm very excited for that. So
it's a show at the comedy festival where they get drunk and do Shakespeare.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
They get litty and do Shakespeare. Anyway, all right, we're going.
All right, please be one.
God, it's good having the wheel back.
If it's turn up, I don't think I'll survive. Oh, thank God.
Okay. It's a wind down.
Oh.
All right. I'll have a couple shandies tonight.
Oh, God. Thank the Lord. I'm going to Traralgon tonight to open for Blake. And I don't know what state of mind I was in when I agreed to it, but it definitely wasn't the state of mind that I'm in now.
You need to take a nap.
I was in Cardiff and he's like, what you doing Friday? And I'm like, probably having beers with you, legend. Why? What's on the radar? And he's like, you want to come with me to Rogan? I was like, I haven't seen the lads in a while. Oh. That's awesome. But we went to the pub last night. Now we're all caught up. So now we're
nothing to talk about. You're just going to Traralgon now. Fuck that.
Anyway.
No, but that is it the same place as last time?
Yeah. It's a good theatre.
It's a
He's
great
doing the big
backstage.
boy room.
Yay!
Go Blakey.
Go Blakey! Our baby boy's growing up.
Yeah, so we went to a gay bar in London called, don't remember.
Heaven.
It
wasn't Haven? I'm dyslexic, so I might not. Yeah,
I think it was just called Heaven.
it was probably called Heaven.
And we were having a great time, right? I did get pashed on the neck by a stranger.
Yes.
In the guy's defense, yes, it was definitely creepy and non-consensual.
Yeah.
However, I think I accidentally threw him a little too much energy.
Oh, okay.
A little too much like vibe. And
that's not an excuse.
I think
that's not okay.
what I'm saying is I was asking for it.
No, yeah, that's literally what you were saying right now.
I was dressed kind of, I wasn't.
No, Luke, okay, give me a hand. It's not your fault, okay? It's never the victim's fault.
I'll explain. It was a little bit my fault. So I'm happy to take some responsibility for what happened.
No, it was my fault.
What happened was we were there with your friends who live over there now. One of them is gay.
Yeah.
Or they?
Yeah, well, they're both technically gay.
Sure.
Gabby's bi.
Okay, great. And we're at this club. It was so much fun. We kind of had a couple of drinks before we got there, and then we got there like midnight, like a proper clubbing night, which I rarely do.
Yeah.
But I was like, you know what? Went in London, bit of fun. Well, I was there with a couple of friends as well that I know from here. And I think, do I give off gay energy sometimes in general? Because sometimes people think I'm gay from watching my stand-up. I've had people come up to me afterwards going, are you sure you're straight?
Yeah, like it's because you can play that part so well.
Right.
And I think like when you are around people like that, you kind of like manifest it in like a fun way. You're like, oh my God, yay, I get to be fruity. And like there's no...
But I feel like I'm like that anyway.
No, I feel like when you're at a pub, you're not being fruity, you know, like, but when you're in a gay bar, I think you were just like kind of feeding off the energy that was around you, which was awesome. You were just having fun. But I think that definitely might have translated. But when Mika comes on,
it's also like partly to the music. Yeah. Like they're playing songs that warrant that type of behavior, you know? You can't go, you take your girl and multiply by 4 and do like a manly dance while you're doing it like, oh Lord, because then it becomes creepy. If you don't like...
Luke, this is one of the reasons why I love you, and I can't believe I have to actually explain toxic masculinity to you. But a lot of straight guys, in particular, they're like, that's fucking gay. Yeah. They're the that's what the gays do. Okay.
Are they all American from the South?
Well, I'm just doing what all I actually heard on a real life interview the other day, and he's like, "Look, drag shows are killing our kids." Okay, and the interviewer was like, "Oh, really? How many kids have been killed in a drag show?" And he's like, "Oh, I'm not too sure about the numbers." And he's like, "Oh, well, how many kids have been killed going to school this year? Or how many school shootings has there been?" And he was like, 100. Well, the guy was like 176. And he's like, "Oh, well, look, I'm sure maybe like over 100,000 have been killed in drag clubs then, probably, because they're worse." It was the most idiotic thing I've ever fucking heard.
You just need to leave America behind at this point.
Anyway, yes.
What are we talking about? Oh, yeah.
Toxic masculinity and how you were not that.
Yeah, but anyway.
It's refreshing.
Yes, I was giving off fun energy on the dance floor in a gay club. And fair enough also that I'm a guy dancing in a fruity way on the dance floor of a gay club. Fair enough that people think I'm gay. I'm not like shocked by that, right?
Yeah.
But you know when like you kind of make eye contact with a stranger, this girl's kind of like moving past me like this. Well, he didn't have a shirt on, right? That should have been like maybe like red flag number one in my head of like maybe I shouldn't give this guy too much vibes. Yeah. But like, you know, I think Mika was on. And I was like, it got up to the line, like, get yourself to the butterfly lounge, find yourself a big lady. And I was doing this, and I was like, get yourself to the and I was pointing at him as he went across, and I gave him kind of like finger guns or something like that. Like I gave him energy, and he pulled me in.
Oh no!
And I quickly went, oh no! You've misread this. But it's so loud, and I just start stuttering.
You sound like that kid when you no touch.
Yeah, it was. And then he like kissed my neck, and I just slowly pushed him off and went. But he was like so drunk, and he was like no, and then your Ben walks up to me afterwards, like your gay friend, and goes, welcome to heaven. And pretty funny. So it gave me a bit of a laugh because I was like, okay, kind of got like assaulted, but also pretty funny from Ben.
Ben is one of my best friends. He always comes out with the like he doesn't give off like the energy that he's gonna say like a heap of like super funny things all the time. But then all of a sudden he'll just come out with some of the funniest shit that I've like heard, and I'm like, oh, where did this come from? There was one.
I don't know if I'm allowed to say it.
You're allowed to say it.
Okay, there was one. I think it was. So we were visiting the Tower Bridge in London.
Yeah.
And I was walking along, and he was like, "Oh yeah." I'm like, "Okay, it's just a bridge." So I was like, "Yeah, it was in Spider-Man." He's like, "No, it's the one that goes up and down." Like, so the Tower Bridge is one where they open it a few times a year, and big boats will come into like the Thames. Is it the Thames?
Yeah, something like that.
And I was like, oh, okay. And I started getting newfound respect for this bridge. I was like, okay, it's kind of versatile. Like, you know, it can like, you know, go like, I was like, it can close, it can open, you know, and he just comes out, he's like, yeah, versatile, just like my asshole. And I was just like,
deadpan face.
Just like deadpan. And then he just kept talking about the architecture of the bridge. And I was like, I'm sorry, what? And he was like, you heard me. And I was like, okay.
See what I mean?
He's great.
Just deadpan faces, like it's so good. Now I'm gonna change the subject here because I've been meaning to do this for quite a few weeks. I just wanted to wait until we were back on home ground because I think it's something that's pretty much exclusively for Australians. But I have a feeling international people will look on this and go, "What the fuck?" and they'll enjoy it. So a few weeks ago, you were asking if it was relatable to anyone if other kids showered in their clothes or not when the kids at school bullied you for not wearing clothes in the shower.
No. That is quite possibly the worst explanation of that I've heard.
Did it not come out right?
Okay, so
my brain.
I didn't used to wear clothes in the shower.
No, I said kids used to bully you for not wearing.
So other kids would come
shower.
to school and lie about not being naked in the shower.
That's what I said, not wearing clothes in the shower.
Oh, okay. Maybe I processed it wrong. It didn't sound right.
Said the same thing, just in opposite ways.
I didn't think it sounded good. I didn't like the way you said. I didn't like the way you said it.
Okay, so I want to. So I have just to be sure that this is relatable to like quite a few people. I've actually done quite an extensive study, including asking you this question. I've asked Phoebe, and Phoebe is like, who's our podcast producer. Phoebe is like, oh my God, yes, this was like my whole primary school experience. What the hell? I can't believe we came from two separate schools.
But by the way, people did relate to my experience.
Oh yeah, but you know, there a few.
Yeah, a few.
Yeah, a few.
It was a thing where some kids it was like rude to be nude.
Right, yeah. Did you ever hear about the gumnut currency? Did you ever have a gumnut currency in your school?
I know what you're talking about. The weird horse girls that used to collect actual gum nuts.
Oh, what the fuck? Okay, I wasn't a weird horse girl. Thank you very much. It was my entire year level who did this.
Has that energy about it, doesn't it?
No, it doesn't. When the whole year level gets on board with it, it absolutely doesn't. We can't all be horse girls, can we?
Oh, you can. Depends what school you went to.
I went to your school.
You didn't at high school?
No, I went to your school in primary school.
Like a year.
For 2 years.
Yeah, right.
And that's where I did it. They didn't have a gum nut tree at my other school.
Was it?
So there was this
where people would just collect gum nuts off the ground.
So so basically what would happen is there was this massive tree over the playground, and it used to drop all of these gum nuts all the time. It was like a pretty old tree. And so what we would all do is all the kids would like go and like pick up all the gum nuts.
Thinking of come again?
No. Oh my God.
Why did that guy think I was gay? So weird.
We need to get you into conversion therapy stat. No. So all the kids would go around and we would pick up these gum nuts, and eventually there was so little gum nuts around that we would be like scrounging for these gum nuts. And to basically all of the gum nuts on the ground were gone, and what you had was just what you had. And so in order to get more gum nuts, you would have to like form like a trading thing, and you'd have to either do a job for someone or trade something with someone for the gum nuts.
What kind of like jobs were people doing for gum nuts?
Um
and give me like an example of like what would 5 gum nuts get you?
Well, I remember I was doing massages. I was doing neck massages, and then one of the girls who I was working with was doing braids. She was like hair braiding.
You had a business partner in the gum nut trade.
In the gum nut trading. While I was like 7 years old.
Was there like a governing gum nut body?
Yeah. Okay. So it wasn't technically like a governing gum nut, but basically
It was like
okay. So
was it a girl called like Belinda or something? And she's like, she's the gum nut bank.
The girl who was doing the braids with me was called Belinda.
Of course she was. They're all called Belinda, mate. Every horse girl is called Belinda.
Okay. So,
Belinda is such a I trade gum nut name. Tell me that's not the most.
when we get into
I
a
bet
fight,
Belinda's still trying to barter with gum nuts at the servo.
please, sir, I've got 30 gum nuts. And he's like, we don't take those here. Okay, so there was like the king of gum nuts. We used to call him like the gum nut king. And basically this kid literally came to school with like fucking bags of gum nuts.
Yeah, because he probably had a gum nut thing in his house.
Okay,
cheating.
so before like we,
Figured that out.
Yeah, no. So what happened was we all made like this like pact. Everyone was like, okay, like you can only take the gum nuts from the trees or trade it with another person. Otherwise it's unfair if someone has a gum nut tree at their house. And so we like all swore and stuff, and we were like, okay, if you get caught, then you're going to get shamed out of the playground. You're like fucking Game of Thrones. And so this
You get like gum nuts thrown at you, like shame.
yeah, you don't get gum nuts thrown
No,
at
because that would be like throwing
you.
money
Just
at the
get
person.
shamed. You're just like, boo. Everyone's like, oh, you suck.
I don't
boo,
think-
and you get walked out
By
of
the
the
way,
playground.
This was like grade 1 and 2 when you were at my primary school, wasn't it?
Yeah.
There is no chance, like the way you're describing it is like you had all these rules set up. There is no chance like a bunch of 6 or 7-year-olds are actually running like this
No, we did.
gum nut trade
That was weird.
in this much order.
No, we did. And I discussed this with Phoebe as well. Phoebe obviously went to another school. She went to school in Sydney. So literally another state. And she was like, we had pretty much identical forms of trade set up. So it's pretty like easy to understand.
I understand
You
it.
do service, I get gum nut.
I think
Sorry.
I think the guy version of it that is relatable is there was like footy card trading, but things like that used to get banned really quickly, whereas you can't really ban a gum nut.
Yeah, no. So that's why, because we were trading our footy cards, because footy cards were freaking massive in 2006, 2007. And so we were trading them, and then we got stopped. We weren't allowed to trade them anymore. And so that's when we picked up the gum nut currency, because we were like, okay, well, we need to trade something.
I always wondered what the girls were doing at lunchtime.
No, it was the boys as well. It was literally our entire like cohort. It was so weird.
That is weird.
Our entire year level.
I feel like girls used to do that in our year, like that stuff. And then guys would like would battle Beyblades, and that's all we did. It's like we either played footy or battle Beyblades. And
no, so in order to play footy, you had to pay a gum nut price.
But who bought the oval? And who was governing the oval? This whole gum nut
No. It's just whoever
system.
runs the game. It's not who bought the oval. It's just like, I'm going to set up a game. You guys give me a gum nut and you can be in the game. And it was always like the most popular kid. So, he has hierarchy anyway. So he was like, I'm going to start a game. And everyone's like, yeah.
But isn't that not like how can you be the most popular kid in the year and then also want people to give you gum nuts?
Because this gum nut trading was a thing, okay? We needed the gum nuts. We needed
You can't
the
be
gum
like
nuts
a
to
jock being like, gum nut, please.
Yeah, he did. it's either he was going to get the gum nut.
Also, describing
Or
like a 7-year-old kid
another
as a
kid.
jock is also really weird. I just realized even using that term in real life, like
It's a
where
really
are the
fucked up
like
thing.
it's in Australia, that's not like a term
No.
that we use. Like jock is a very like almost reminds me of like American Pie,
Yeah.
like
that's 'cause
frat,
it is. It's
like
frat boy,
those like lacrosse dudes.
yeah.
Like a movie.
Yeah. Like sports dude from America.
John Tucker Must Die.
Yeah.
Is that the name of the movie?
Yeah. Yeah.
I almost said Chris Tucker, then realized that's like a comedian.
That's all.
And I was like, oh, no, he's fine.
Imagine that out of context. Jesus Christ. Someone just takes it out,
Yeah.
sends it to him, and it's just you going, Chris Tucker must die.
Yeah. Someone clipped that and sent it to Chris. I just, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so anyway.
No, it is relatable.
So,
I know what you mean.
So basically what happened was this, we obviously knew that the Gum Nut King he was coming back with far too many gum nuts. So we were like, well, this is just insane because the tree doesn't drop that many gum nuts each day. I can't find any on the bloody ground and he's not doing anything to work for it.
Yeah.
So we followed him home one day from school. We stalked him home. I'm saying I didn't stalk him home, but a bunch of the kids stalked him home, and they found that he had multiple gum nut trees on his property, and so we did get shunned. He got shamed out of the playground.
Does the way it work is then no one will trade with him?
Yeah, we cut him off. We literally cut him off. It was really sad. We cut him out of the groups and everything. No, you're over
What
there.
countries did to North Korea.
Yeah.
Like they just don't trade.
We don't trade with them anymore. Yeah.
That's what people are trying to do with China, but it's similar in the sense that China are like they're responsible for a lot of goods. Exhibit A, gum nuts.
We've gotten from gum nuts to China trading.
I'm just trying to, make it unnecessarily political.
A 7-year-old trading gum nuts, and now we're talking about fucking international trading with China and North Korea.
No, I was just,
Sorry.
just in case we were losing any of our political fan, because I know we have like
We have
probably
a
a
very strong-
0.003% political fan base that comes to us for political stuff.
Absolutely.
So I'm just trying to appease that minority.
Luke and Meg do politics.
I don't even know if
We don't care because they're major dicks. Woohoo!
What?
Governments. Boo. I don't know, man. I don't fucking. What am I saying? I'm just tired. I need sleep.
If you had have ended that like just 12 seconds before you did, it would have been fine.
I know.
It was a quantity problem.
I was panicked. So yeah, I want to see if it's actually like if any other kids had the gum nut currency at their school, because I know that I've got a handful of my friends now that I know did it, and I reckon it is quite popular.
Can I just say I hope this is relatable, because we've spent about 20 minutes talking about a gum nut trade system that happened in 2006. So if it's not relatable, then Jesus Christ.
We've just lost like 50% of our audience, probably 75% of the audience, but the other 15%, woo!
Yeah. If someone's like listening to this
that's
just
not
not relating at all, it's going to be a tough listen.
Oh yeah. Anyway.
It's a bit like that, isn't it?
Fucking hell, man.
So
Jesus Christ.
the flight back was pretty grim. I'm not going to lie. Like,
I was gassy. Yeah.
Post KFC, it happens.
I was. I don't know how I keep fucking it up
How
every
did
single time.
How did because obviously we know what Australian KFC farts smell like. It smells like British KFC. What does British KFC farts smell like?
Well, it was just air in my stomach, so it didn't actually smell like anything. It was just literally just.
Wait, you were
air.
ripping farts on the plane?
Yeah, dude.
That's not cool.
Well,
That's not cool.
Okay, if it started smelling, then I would have stopped immediately. But because it was just like air.
I'll sit next to you for 22 hours.
Yeah, and you didn't smell it, did you? Because
I mean,
it didn't fucking smell.
I smelled like funky stuff. But I just was like, oh, it smells like plane and like there's 200 people in a tube flying through the air.
The one time that you asked, I was like, I swear to God, I did not fart. And then we realized what it was. It was that they were preparing the breakfast and it was like egg. Yeah. And so it just smelt like fucking farts. And we were also in the exit row next to the toilets.
They shouldn't be allowed to serve farty food on an airplane. Like
gassy.
Well, like they were serving like stuff with like beans and eggs in it. Yeah. And it's like a 13-hour flight. Yeah. Like, how do you think that's going to end? It's not going to end with like, it's going to end with a queue for the toilet, which there was. It did,
yeah.
And a pretty gassy plane.
Yeah.
Like the compressed air. Oh. Everyone's just breathing in each other's farts for the whole time.
Yeah.
That's why I think I'm not interested in the 22-hour flight from Perth to London, which you can do, and then you just fly from Perth to Melbourne. But I'm not interested in it. Like, we went 13 hours to Hong Kong, then 9 hours Hong Kong to Melbourne, which is a better way to do it because you get a break from farts.
Yeah.
Like, just that recycled gross air and the feeling of being on a plane. I hate that.
You get a reset as well. Yeah. You know, the plane opens up, all the farts go away, straight back in. Yeah. You know?
It's really awkward. I was watching Deadpool and I forgot that there was like a bit of nudity in that film. And they don't cut it out. And the girl next to me just happened to wake up. She was like asleep for like most of the trip. And then she woke up the scene where Deadpool goes to the strip club to like visit his, girlfriend who was working there after they broke up. And it's like they do like a montage to set up that it's a strip club of tits and like girls like dancing slutty with their tops up and stuff. And it just something about like if you wouldn't even think about it if you're watching at home, you'd be like, oh yeah, that's like a setup to that scene.
Yeah.
Whatever. And then cause like there's just people walking around the cabin, you just become hyper aware. And then if you like pause it, it's hard to do because like you don't want to pause it on a boob because then that's worse. That's happened to me before. I used to have a bit about it.
You don't want to skip though as well.
Do you remember what happened on the way to America? It was the most uncomfortable 30 seconds of my life. I was watching The Hangover and the scene where Ken Jeong's character jumps out the back of the boot and he's naked. And there's a scene that there's like probably only like 2 seconds in the film where it actually shows his penis. Right? Yeah. It's that 2 seconds of the film. And you know when they make an announcement over the thing, the screens pause?
Yeah.
Like when the captain starts talking, he's like, g'day guys, we're just approaching. Oh, no, it wasn't. It was like a chatty captain. He's like, g'day guys, just going to give you an update. We are traveling at, 13,000 feet, whatever. Whatever they say.
Yeah.
And he's like, so yeah, have a smooth flight. And it was like I'm sure it was only like 20 seconds, but it felt like 5 minutes.
Oh.
I was like, hurry up. And like people were kind of like waiting for the toilet and I'm sat there with like a dick on my screen for like the whole time. And the guy next to me was looking at me like, oh, come on, mate. And I'm like looking at him like, I didn't make the movie.
Oh my God.
He was looking at me like I executive produced, directed and wrote The Hangover and was like, yeah, no, we need like cock on the screen now.
I'm not going to lie. I think something just bit my butt. I'm so sorry. I just have to quickly get up and check my butt.
This is the first ever butt check we've had to do off camera. What, you think there's a bug in your pants? You've got ants in your pants. Meg's scratching her bum right now off camera. Can I know we're trying to do minimal shout outs, but can I do another one? Yeah. I'd like to shout out Chloe who came to our show in the UK. And she drew these little Luke and Meg. I'll take it over the camera there. We'll post it on Instagram because I thought it was really cool. She drew us in like a little cool cartoon style and then gave us some prints. Very lovely. So shout out Chloe, and that's made it onto the set. And also someone in Glasgow gave me a like homemade pop figurine of myself. And they cool. Clearly just got, I want to know who the white normal looking person they got was. Like I want to know like if they painted out the scar of a Harry Potter.
You can create your own.
Oh, you can create but it's like
no. Like I know
custom packaging.
I know it's still custom packaging and stuff, but you can like the actual the guy you can somewhat like create your own.
It's very cool.
That's awesome.
They've put like the cheers to that merch on me. I'm wearing the most basic white boy kit I could think of. I have the watch that I wear on stage on. It's very detailed.
It's very detailed.
I'm very impressed
awesome.
with it. Figure out what was up your butt?
No.
Sorry, I should have
It's
said
not
on, not up.
Yeah, it's definitely on, not up.
That's my bad.
I feel like there'd be a little bit more urgency
if it went up.
If there was something going up my butt. Okay.
Yeah. We had to catch a train from London to Cardiff to do my shows there. And there was like delays because the train tracks had flooded. So 3 trains got cancelled in a row. So we not only did we get delayed by ages, by the time we got on the train, there was 3 trains worth of people on one train. And we had to stand for 3.5 hours with our suitcases in the doorway. You know when you see those videos like from overseas, like in those overcrowded, like I think it happens in like China and stuff where they push people on to the train.
Yeah, with the stick.
Peak hour.
Get the stick.
Like it was that energy. Like people, and every station we go past, 3 people will get off, but 30 people will get on. So it just kept getting more packed and packed.
Fucked.
And 3.5 hours of standing. This is why I could never have like a retail job. I don't know how people do it.
Yeah, but retail, you're walking around usually, like you're doing other stuff. That was literally
That's
just
so stiff.
Yeah, staying still, upright, and also trying to make sure that the bags weren't flying everywhere.
It was truly like one of the worst travel experiences I've ever had.
That was the worst.
But the flight was fun.
The flight was fine.
Because after that, I was like, oh, I get a seat. I get to watch X-Men.
I get to watch whatever I want for like ages. It's
Yeah.
awesome. Anyway, I had quite a few DMs from last week when I was talking about how I had a like little teddy dog that I would bring around to help with my sensory issues for my autism. And I then started talking about how I used to have my like first teddy. And he got so like fucked up that mum had like just had to stitch it back together so many times that she's just like, I can't do it, and just stopped doing it. Like she was like, nah, I'm going to take it away from her and I'm not going to tell her. Years later, I got it back in the form of like a memento. And I realized how much of a teddy addict I was. Now I've been getting a lot of messages of people going, oh my God, same. I've got this old gross teddy bear. Look at it. Oh, it's so old. I don't think you guys understand the severity of this teddy.
This
now I
thing
know this
used to go at a premium rate of like 15 gum nuts, and now it's down to like 1. You
I don't
couldn't
know
even give this away.
I don't even think you could. Yeah, I think you'd actually have to pay someone to give it away.
Yeah.
Now it's quite visual, so I'm gonna try and do my best to explain it. But if you actually want to see it, which I highly suggest because it's so fucked up, go on to one of our pages.
I can describe it if you'd like.
Please describe the bear.
Doesn't look like a bear. Firstly, it looks like just it's like skinned and raggy.
Tail, 2 legs. One leg is on the booty, other leg is.
Do you remember
pussy.
in primary school when you used to make those potato stocking plant? Was it a plant stocking?
Oh, yeah.
And you used to like, what was it?
Potato plant.
Potato plants.
Yeah.
You put it in a stocking?
Yeah, you would put it
And
in
it
a stocking
grows
and
out
it grows
the
out
top?
hair.
It looks like one of those. Like it just looks like a sack of fluff
Well,
with eyeballs.
so the most recent, the last alteration that was done on it was you can see how the neck has been like put back together. Basically, the neck was hanging by like a thread like this. And it was just like it wasn't filled with anything. It was just all like basically deflated. And I was getting babysat by my sister, and and she was like, you got to go put out the bins. And I was like, oh, but it's dark and I don't like the dark. I'm scared of the dark and I don't want to put out the bins. Yeah, coward. And she was like, no, you have to put out the bins. I was like, I can't do it. I don't want to do it. I'm too scared. And so she got Teddy and she like held him up like it was some fucking martyr that she was doing. And then she just goes with the scissors. She's like, do it or I cut off his head. And I was like, you wouldn't dare. And she just snipped it. And I've never screamed harder. I've lost my fucking shit.
You and your sister are just so dramatic.
I got home and I was like, Mom. Like Mum got home and I was like, Mom, and I just bought this fucking decapitated teddy that's shriveled and disgusting back. And I was like, Kirsten, cut off his head. And Mum was like, fucking Kirsten, Jesus, we're almost done with this thing. We almost got so close. And so she had to do this weird ass potato job on it and sew the head back on. And then that was the final straw. She was like, no more alterations.
At least
after
she didn't
that.
make some like grainy like camcorder shot beheading video.
Do it or the bear gets it.
Yeah.
For those sending me your teddy pics, you got nothing on this teddy. So you're all
if
good.
your teddy actually resembles some kind of thing that you could love, then it's not in the state that Meg's in. Meg's like...
Mine is missing its nose and its eye and its ear and two of its arms.
It's like something you would see if you like went to like an abandoned mental asylum.
Yeah.
And like, and they put things in there to creep you out. Like, I'm sorry, but that's... If that was like hanging on a wall, you'd be like, that's the most terrifying thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, for sure. That is terrifying.
I feel bad for it.
Oh yeah. Mum wants to frame it, but I think I'm just gonna I don't know. He's gonna stay in the box for a little while longer. Alrighty, we're done. Thank you so much.
I'm gonna go have a nap.
He's gonna go take a nap. Sorry, this is out later. As we said, we were on a flight home, so we weren't able to do it until today. But we hope you enjoyed it, and we will see you again next week. Remember, we are winding down, so
I will have no troubles in that.
No troubles.
You'll not catch me turning up this weekend, because I don't think it's physically possible.
That's fair.
At this stage.
Yeah, pretty wrecked.
This is one of the most wind down. No, I can't even speak.
Okay, that's how much he's gonna wind down.
That's my cue to leave.
Alrighty, see you later, everybody.
Goodbye.
We love you. Goodbye.
Oh, and get tickets.
Teddy says goodbye.
Okay, get tickets to my show at lukekidgell.com.
Teddy says get tickets to the show. Get tickets to the Luke Kidgell show.
Otherwise, I'll cut its head off again.
No, don't wait. That wasn't part of the deal.
Bye.